Uh, we have maybe about 12,000 in that range, ventilators. That's before you talk about anesthesia machines, before you talk about splitting, and that number changes. We don't have an estimate for when we would get there, and hopefully we never do.
What's your message for getting more testing kits upstate?
Any hospital that needs more testing kits, again, we don't have enough. Hospitals tend to like to have supplies for a prolonged period of time, which I understand. So they want to have a 1-month supply, a 3-week supply. We don't have that ability. If we can provide a few days' supply, that's what we're looking at, which makes them uncomfortable, I understand, but that's just the situation we're in. But any hospital that needs supplies immediately, the Department of Health can provide them. Anyone who needs a test, and if the hospital doesn't have the supplies, we have mobile testing units that can go test a person. So they just have to contact the Department of Health.
This question, you were asked yesterday, but just to reemphasize, there's no plan in place for like a ventilator protocol where certain patients would be prioritized over others. And also, on the issue of construction workers, is there a reason they're being treated as essential workers? We've heard complaints from some who feel like they're working on top of each other. These are not sanitary conditions. Why are construction workers included?
Yeah, we're looking at that now, Jesse. I understand the point, and I hear the point. I think some construction is essential, right? But it is something we're looking at, because I understand the point, and it sounds right to me. Yes. Yes.
The Department of Labor today reported 3.3 million people have filed for unemployment. What's your message? And it's probably a lot more considering the people who can't apply or have been waiting in line. What's your message for the people who have lost their jobs over the last several days?
Yeah, it's not, no one has lost their job, I would say, to provoke them. We have all lost our jobs. It's different. When you lose a job, it tends to suggest maybe you did something wrong, maybe it was your performance, a statement, an evaluation of you. This has nothing to do with you. It's the circumstance that we are in, and we must correct it. There's a strength in the fact that it's all of us, right? When it's just you, then you're on your own. When it's all of us, that suggests we have to do something about it because the collective demands it. And that's where we are. I am sure it is a terrible feeling and a frightening feeling for everyone, Nick, for everyone. Nobody's been here before. I'm out of work, my business is closed, I don't have a paycheck, I can't leave the house has the family in it, or I'm all alone. No one has been here before. And that's why, look, it is going to change us. I really believe that. It is going to help form a new generation. I can see it in my daughter's eyes. When I talk to them about this every night, I can see the fear. I can see their eyes open wide. They're taking it all in. What does it mean? This is going to form a new generation, and it will transform who we are and how we think. But you're not alone. You're not alone. Nobody is alone. We are all in the same situation. Let's do someone who hasn't answered the question, if that's okay.
What's the plan for
Ask the question.
What's the plan for schools beyond the original shutdown order, particularly for school board elections, the regents exams in the spring? What's the longer-term plan for school districts?
We're looking at on an ongoing basis, unless you want to add something, James?
The only modification to that is the ELA exams, the math and science exams were suspended, basically canceled for this year by the state education department. As the governor said, the school closure plans are set to come back on. We're looking at that right now.
Let's take one more from someone. Did he answer your question?
Sort of, but like New York City's already said they're closed till at least April 20th. This order only goes to April 1st, so just like how should schools be planning for that?
We're evaluating, the governor's evaluating that now, and there's going to be a decision on whether to extend the closure remember, the 180-day waiver ends effectively April 1st, so whether to extend it or not is being considered by us right now, by the governor right now.
Let's take one more from anyone who hasn't asked a question?
A couple of days ago, you mentioned getting people back to work, and you have to start thinking about that. Do you have a plan for that now, or is that still something that you're working at?
It's something the nation is working out, something that we're working through. And I think the smartest way forward is a modified public health strategy that dovetails and complements a get back to work strategy, right? What we did was we closed everything down. That was our public health strategy. Just close everything. All businesses, all workers, young people, old people, short people, tall people, every school, close everything. If you rethought that or had time to analyze that public health strategy, I don't know that you would say quarantine everyone. I don't even know that that was the best public health policy. Young people then quarantined with older people was probably not the best public health strategy, because the younger people could have been exposing the older people to an infection. So how do you modify the public health strategy to make it smarter from a public health point of view, but also starts to get you back to work? Younger people can go back to work. People who have resolved can go back to work. People who, once we get this antibody test, show that they had the virus and they resolved, can go back to work. That's how I think you do it. It's not we're going to either do public health or we're going to do economic development, restarting. We have to do both. We have to do both. That's, no, but we're working on it. And I think that's the same thing the federal government is working through. I'm going to go to work, guys. Thank you very much. No, they never fixed that bill. They never fixed it. They said they would. They never did.
Why is the state only saying how many healthcare workers have COVID?
Why is the state, I'm sorry?
Why isn't the state releasing how many healthcare workers have COVID and other details about cases, like where they are, exactly?
If we know it, we will release it. Thank you.